is, you can see here is about 10 of different amps. All switched together so we can switch them on the fly. And there's 4 cabinets all mic'd up, so everything is easy to just through the switch to change the sound and get what we want. And here is also, you can see like a couple of combos all mic'd up. So that was the main thing on this album, to get it more like guitar oriented stuff, not so much keyboards.
These guys have made some really well produced records, but they've generally had like a lot of keyboards and a lot of like really certain types of production values that I normally don't get into. And I thought it would be great to have a chance to try to do something that was a little bit more stripped down and more guitar oriented like the band was. When you go see them, they don't have a keyboard player, but there's 10,000 keyboards on the record and strings and all kinds of crazy shit and tons of background. So I wanted to try to do more with the band itself and add less from the outside.
So you can see here's a full box of pedals. We are gonna use them all, maybe. Lots of guitars, as you can see, we have tons of guitars there. Up there still what we can use, and you know, this is a guitar heaven, the whole studio. So this is gonna be a guitar album, really great one.
In blood.
Like Matt says, everything is awesome except out of tune. And for a perfect guitar sound, we need 17 amps at least.
The album is called Back in Blood, and that's no coincidence. Majority of the songs are actually seriously inspired by vampire movies.
I'd say that we always had that vibe, and we always had a song or two with some vampire-ish lyrics that could fit any vampire movie soundtrack.
Of course, I started writing something which is like purposely refers to some movies. For instance, there's a song called Hunger, which is of course refers to that David Bowie great vampire movie.
I would love to leave that to Jyrki, and I'm sure he's happy to talk about the movie things, because he's the guy when it comes to lyrics, and he watches so many horror and vampire movies that I don't know where the hell he finds the time, but well, he's a vampire, so he doesn't sleep.
Suspiria, Snow White. We were watching Suspiria doing that.
Last couple of years we've been touring so much that when you're on tour you become a vampire, so it's a natural progression. You know, this album is blood-dripping lyrics, and you know, it was time for that.
All of a sudden during the writing process, I just noticed that there's this and this song is like all of a sudden like a vampire story, and they just started, coming up.
We are vampires, so we stay young.
Yeah. Elvis is always around, even in this studio where I record my vocals. It's all about Elvis when it comes to rock and roll. And but on the other hand, during these vocal sessions, we've been watching movies. Each night we watch about like 3 movies. So like the other night we just watched these classic Christopher Lee Dracula movies. So I think for Back in Blood, it's like both.
I would say that Elvis has always been our main thing. Elvis started rock and roll, so we follow his footsteps. So definitely it's Elvis, always, and will be.
Well, it must be Dracula, because this album needs more blood. This album is influenced by Elvis and Dracula. Yeah.
That's a funny question, Elvis or Dracula, but I'd say Elvis wins. Jyrki, our singer Jyrki, is a proud holder of Elvis fan club membership card. It's in his wallet to this day, and it's been there for all these years.
It's 50-50 for Elvis and Dracula on this record.
Halfway through recording the new album here in Sunset Lodge, LA, Hollywood.
Of the darkness open wide, she'll feel the bite.
One of my favorites, Dead Girls Are Easy, is kind of my tribute to Tommy Lee, my tribute to Motley Crue's Dr. Feelgood.
She's gone to the other side.
For me as a drummer, it's great to work with Matt because he's like totally into songs driven by the drums. But anyway, this is where I come back to. I'll be at Golden Awards April 7th. Let's try to hook up then. More cowbell. Hell yeah, I'm in. Thanks. Keep kicking ass. 69 Ice Rules. Winnie Paul. So that gives me all the energy in the world, all the energy I need, and it seems like we're gonna have some cool fucking cowbell on the record. I hate the word success, kind of, because I hate to analyze that thing, but in my head, success means nothing more than I have a tech nowadays, so I don't need to carry my kit from the van to the venue, and I don't need to put it up and put it down after the show, and that's success to me personally. I mean, that was my rock and roll, ultimate rock and roll dream for me, was to have drum endorsement and somebody to put my kit up. So I'm living the dream, baby.
Well, the 69 I started like in 1989 to be precise, and we started to play some dirty rock and roll in the Piston King cellar in the most seediest place in Helsinki called Kallio. First we were playing cover tunes like Alice Cooper, Dead Boys, Iggy and the Stooges, MC5, you know, things like that, and then we started to write our own songs.
Say 17 years ago we toured in a van in Helsinki, from Helsinki to the city next from Helsinki.
We released few records, a bunch of like 7-inch vinyl singles, EPs and stuff like that, and our reputation started to spread.
And now the flights are getting longer and our crews are getting bigger.
First we wanted to be, like when we started, we wanted to be the coolest band and the loudest band in Helsinki.
In our heads, we were way bigger 20 years ago because we were thinking like you were thinking when you are like 16, 17. Then you should think like, dude, we're the biggest deal on earth.
We don't have any doubt about it, you know, that we are playing still about 30 years or something.
We just wanted to be the coolest rock and roll band in the world. Not to be any modest saying that, but you know, just like it's been going on 20 years and we always, you know, have way or another fulfilled our dreams.
If Angel is a party album, this is a party album and a soundtrack to kick holes into the walls.
So half of the album is the same way what we have done before, and half of it is more like hard rock and stuff.
This is the energy we have on the fast songs. It's like pumped straight into your face. And even though I'm sitting here under the Hollywood sun, it's still definitely a nighttime album. It's like should be listened to after sunset.
Our A&R guy was here, and I asked like, what do you think about this record? Because he heard like the music before I came here, and he said like, yeah man, that sounds like Appetite for Destruction. And I mean, I tell you no lies, Matt got this ultimate energy, tightness, and all that